Hi, everyone. This is Scott Nybakken for Dynamite Entertainment, and I'm here today with writer Joe Casey to talk about his new series for Dynamite, The Return of Johnny Quest to Comics. Joe, thanks for joining us on the channel.
Great to be here, Scott. Thanks a lot, man.
So, Johnny Quest, of course, began life as an animated adventure series, and even though it was only on for one season, it became enormously popular in syndication, and its influence continues to be felt to this day. What is it, do you think, about the concept and the show that makes it so compelling across the decades?
Well, it's a cool sort of spy espionage, got that kind of vibe to it, which always plays no matter what year it is, it seems. It's really strong characters. There's that timeless kind of family concept there. It's not a straight kind of family, but it is a family dynamic that I think plays no matter what. But most of all, the show was really high quality. It's just a really good, well-made piece of entertainment, and you just compare it to other things of the time, and now it holds up. It's just good show, just a really well-made show.
And related to that, what is your relationship with the original show? Did you watch it when you were a kid? Did you revisit it when you're like getting ready to do this new series?
I watched it when I was a kid. It seemed to be ubiquitous when I was a kid. I mean, it was only they only made one season of the original show, but networks would sort of relicense it every few years. So Saturday mornings, you could count on it showing up on one of the three major networks as part of their morning lineup. So it seemed to me as a kid, just on all the time. It was like background noise to my childhood. So when it came to this gig, I definitely went back and revisited the show. Like I said, it holds up. It's wildly entertaining. It's got this great bouncy vibe to it, this rhythm that we tried to capture in the comic itself. So it's great. It's on Tubi. I would any Tubi for free. So I would encourage anyone to go out and watch that show. It's out there. You can see it.
Excellent. Yeah. So the prologue for the title launched in May in Dynamite's Free Comic Book Day, issue number 0. So readers got an appropriately intriguing preview of the debut story. Uh, Without venturing too far into spoiler territory, what dangers are Team Quest going to be facing in this inaugural issue?
Yeah, yeah. Don't want no spoilers here. I think that we wanted to do two things with this story. One, we wanted to give them a challenge that they hadn't really faced before, and we did that in two ways. One, we changed their setting. That's all that I'll say. We changed their setting, but also in doing that, we changed the dynamic of the family. The fact that it's at its core a father and son with Dr. Quest and Johnny, that makes it kind of a generational story. And so we wanted to lean into that and to as what does it mean um, to look at this as one generation coming after the next. So that's a big part of the story, and it gives I think it's the emotional core of the story is the fact that Johnny's a kid that will one day grow up, and Dr. Quest is his father who may one day not be there anymore. Just the cycle of life is a big part of what we're doing with this story.
Yeah, and as you just mentioned, you were talking about recapturing the uniquely optimistic, yet dramatic pacing of the original animated show and the bouncy kind of vibe that it had. Can you describe how that's going to manifest itself in the new series?
Well, the thing that's really comforting about the original show to me is there's real drama and there's real stakes, but the characters were always very charmingly unflappable. They'd confront these dramas with sort of a real matter of fact. This is our job. Let's do this, and maybe even uh, have fun with it as we're doing it. Again, stakes were high, sometimes life and death situations, but they never cracked. The characters never cracked. There was never any emotional histrionics, which I is very comforting in a way. So we tried to capture that spirit in the comic series, while maybe inching the emotional stakes up a little bit. Um, but finding that voice that the show had, we really fell into it, and it's been quite fun to write in that style, because usually I'll go for something one extreme or the other, either very clinical because that's what the material demands, or very histrionic because that's what the material demands. This walks a fine line right down the center, and there's it's nothing else like it that I've ever written, I don't think. So it's been a lot of fun.
And and speaking of the family, like, so the Quest family has their headquarters on Palm Key in Florida, and of course they also have a famously extensive array of specialty vehicles like planes and ships and jetpacks. They can take them around the world. Are we in for some globe-trotting in this new adventure?
Lots of globe trotting. We'll go to India. We'll go to Tokyo. We'll go to outer space. That's as globe hopping as you can get going to outer space, and a lot of gadgets, a lot of cool tech. Um, I mean, if you've watched one episode of the show and dug it, I think you'll dig the series, because I think we really captured something so far.
Excellent. And like, which leads into my final question, which is the unmistakable visual style of Johnny Quest has been one of the keys to its longevity, I think. How has Sebastian Pires, the artist on this new series, been doing at adapting that classic look into a more contemporary graphic narrative?
Well, we knew that we needed to find somebody that understood the style of the original show, that Doug Wildy, Alex Toth look. That's a hallmark of the show. And Sebastian fit the bill. He's a great artist. He not only captures that vibe, but he updates it in just the right way. This is not anyone who has an idea about Johnny Quest, just a cursory knowledge of what the look of the show is, will recognize our book as being in that spirit. And that's all down to Sebastian. He really found just the right balance of modern comic book storytelling with that classical drawing that was a hallmark. I mean, the show to me, those shows, Johnny Quest and Space Ghost, really look like comic books to me. And yet it's always difficult to find an artist to draw in a way that evokes those styles, but isn't so comic booky or of a different style that it's unrecognizable. And Sebastian, thank God, he really hits the mark. So I mean, people who've seen the Free Comic Book Day story already know this. He nailed that from page one, and some of the stuff that he's doing, going back to the globe hopping aspects, his sense of location is fantastic. So it really feels like they are going all around the world in this story. He's great.
Excellent. Well, Joe, thanks for tearing yourself away from the keyboard long enough to talk with us. Johnny Quest #1 hits comic stores in August, so make sure to pre-order it now. And don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thanks for watching.
So yeah.